to the cave of Sword Bitch Sect. Peng Ying appeared with Yi Feng in front of a vortex. Feng, inside this door is the long prisoner's domain of my Sword Bitch Sect. I will send you in later, where you will face the most terrifying things in the world. I'll give you one last chance. If you kneel down and kowtow, I'll let you go today. Before she could finish speaking, Yi Feng took the initiative and went in. Peng Ying could not describe the taste in her heart. She never expected you would dislike her so much that you would rather die than yield to her. The scene now switched to the interior of Long Prisoner's domain. The air inside is scarce and ferocious, making it extremely difficult to even take a breath. The gravity inside is 10 times higher than the outside, and it is also sealed with many brutal Yogwai beasts. However, for Yi Feng, this is still too easy. He casually strolled around inside, and even killed a few Yogwai beasts along the way. Although I am just a mortal, I have never been a pushover. Even if it's a dangerous place, like the Dragon Pool, I will still venture into it. However, Yi Feng still overestimated the strength of the Yogwai beasts. In just a few minutes, he killed all the ferocious beasts inside, and continued to move forward. In the end, he was blocked by a wall similar to a water cube. Is this the end? The wall is endless at a glance. It seems futile to walk along the wall to find an exit. With this in mind, he directly kicked out with his foot. I didn't expect the wall to be so hard, with only a crack being created by his effort. He then increased the force and kicked again. This kick actually caused a magnitude 10 earthquake in the entire area. The earthquake was so strong that it alerted the leader of the Sword Bitch Sect, Duan Qinfeng. Something bad is happening. It feels like the foundation has an issue. Our Sword Bitch Sect's foundation is composed of formations, and it was personally arranged by the founding patriarch when he established the sect. With such a solid foundation, why would there be a problem? Immediately, he sent his sidekick to check the situation. At this time, Yi Feng had already kicked open a hole inside. He walked in, and found another enclosed space. So he continued to smash and break things. The solid foundation was forcibly smashed into a passage, and the Sword Bitch Sect on the ground inexplicably turned into ruins. The leader stood dumbfounded in place. He never expected that what the patriarch left behind would be destroyed in his generation. The man actually smashed the prison's foundation barehanded in order to escape. He quickly smashed out a passageway. In the end, he unexpectedly arrived at an underground secret chamber. The old man is named Yi Tiansheng, possessing the cultivation level of the Grand Martial Emperor Tribulation Stage. He is a descendant patriarch of the Sword Bitch Sect. This is the end of the foundation of the Great Formation, and also its core. The old man sat here for 99 years without eating or drinking, just to break through this chess game in front of him. This is the chess game left behind by the first-generation patriarch. Before ascending, he made a prophecy that the sect would face a crisis of annihilation within 10,000 years. The only way to unravel the crisis is to break open this chess game. After so many years of inheritance, no one has emerged who can unravel it, including himself. And today happens to be the 10,000th day, which is also the final day of the deadline. The people from the Destruction Sect should be arriving here soon. Because of these reasons, the old man thought Yi Feng was an enemy when he saw him. He knew someone would come today, but he didn't expect it to be a young man. The old man used his spiritual awareness to check Yi Feng's cultivation level. The result showed unknown on the spiritual awareness. The old man suddenly panicked. I didn't expect that this young man has become so powerful to a level beyond his perception. It seems that he himself cannot stop the inevitable destruction of his sect. Thinking of this, he started to tremble, not knowing what would happen next. But what he didn't expect was that Yi Feng actually hugged him and said, "Old man, you're so old, why don't you sit down and rest?" Seeing that Yi Feng had no ill intentions, the old man invited him to sit at the chessboard. I traveled all day to get here. This distance must be far beyond the Sword Bitch Sect's territory, right? Here is the end of the formation, indeed outside the sect. Yi Feng noticed the chessboard in front of him. With his chess skills already at their peak, He realized it was a stalemate. The next second, Yi Feng directly broke up the chess game. It looks like you really enjoy playing chess, but this game is a dead end now. You don't need to continue playing. Let's start over. Upon hearing this, the old man suddenly realized. The chessboard is like life. Instead of sticking to old ways and waiting for death, it's better to start over. It seems that this gentleman is indeed a master. In order to completely rebuild the sect, he used magic to shut down the barrier protecting the sect, causing the sect's defense to start crumbling. Leader Qingshan Sect is completely desperate. The temple can be rebuilt after collapsing, but now that the barrier protecting the sect is gone, does this mean the old man is going to abandon us? The Sword Bitch Sect, which has been passed down for thousands of years, is about to perish. At this moment, the two at the underground core have already started a new game. Yi Feng has just made his first move. The old man was shocked in an instant. He seemed to have arrived at the moment of the universe's creation. Is this the power of the Great Tao? The power of the Great Tao is a stage that every immortal cultivator aspires to comprehend. To break through and become an immortal emperor, one must understand enough of the power of the Great Tao. From ancient times to the present, there have been tens of thousands of people on the entire Celestial River continent who have cultivated to the martial emperor stage, but only a few can be counted as those who can break through to become an immortal emperor. However, around the chessboard at this moment, there are hidden powers of the Great Tao everywhere. The only beings capable of achieving this are the immortal beings in the heavens. Thinking of this old man laughing heartily, the founding patriarch miscalculated. This is not a crisis, but a huge opportunity. After the hearty laughter, the two began their official chess match. The strength of the immortal being is indeed remarkable. No matter how I strategize, he always seems to perceive my intentions. And every time danger arises, he will provide me with a way out in the midst of peril. Yi Feng also had a lot of fun playing, and this old man's chess skills are still good. It's been a long time since I played chess so joyfully. When this piece is placed down, this creates a situation of multiple repeated cycles. Both sides will have their pieces automatically captured whenever they are placed. Continuing to play further has no meaning anymore. Yi Feng deliberately guided the old man to achieve a draw. What's the point of winning when he's already in his 70s? While the old man is sweating profusely, Mr. could easily win, but instead, he lets me win every time. Playing the whole game has enlightened me on the power of the Great Tao, completely opening the door to my cultivation into becoming an immortal. The kindness you have shown me is like giving me a new lease on life. Yi Feng stood up and looked up at the beam of light above his head. And at this moment, the situation outside had already become a mess. The disciples moved to a distant hillside, looking at the sect in ruins before them. The sect leader, Qingshan Sect, was full of questions. He didn't even know the reason for the destruction. Peng Ying was so scared that cold sweat streamed down his face, only hoping that Yi Feng was not the one behind all this. Because he was the one who led him in. If it was him, then he would have caused a big disaster. But I grew up with him since childhood. I have accompanied him to test spiritual root many times. The results all showed that he is a person without spiritual root. How could such a useless person achieve such a great accomplishment? It must not be his. The scene suddenly switched to the inn over here, where the leaders of the 5 major sects have gathered. Through witnesses on the street, they learn about Master Yi being kidnapped by Peng Ying. After discussion, the group decided to. Several people planned to mobilize all the forces of the 5 major sects to go to Sword Bitch Sect and take a look. The leaders of the 5 major sects are gathered in the inn, calculating to mobilize all the manpower of the sect to completely eliminate the Sword Bitch Sect. None said. It is impossible for a mere Peng Ying to kidnap someone with the strength of a master. I think the old man must have ulterior motives. Perhaps visiting the Sword Bitch Sect is also one of his purposes for coming to South Sand this time. However, regardless, we must go and take a look. After speaking, everyone flew away. Old Mr. Wang inside the house was not worried at all. If something really serious had happened to Sir Skeleton Veteran, he would have gone long ago. He wouldn't have time to be here watching girls on this attic, would he? Upon closer inspection, I realized that Sir Skeleton is indeed watching the girls. And he even rates each girl who passes by here. My dear, just now, I can only give this girl a score of 9. Old Mr. Wang said that the meaning of Sir Skeleton Veteran is already very clear, which is to tell us not to spoil the high spirits of others. The scene suddenly changed, and the 5 major sects forces had already arrived above Sword Bitch Sect. Sect leader Duan Qinfeng was shocked by this sudden scene. He looked up at the sky and shouted, "What do you mean by bringing so many people here? Your own sect members have done such a great rebellious act. Don't you have any idea in your mind?" This statement frightened Peng Ying, causing cold sweat to flow down his back. And Duan Qinfeng is completely unaware of this matter now. What treacherous and immoral act! Don't speak ill of others. You just want to take advantage of chaos to wipe out my sect. Nun said, "Our 5 leaders have received the blessings of the masters and have now reached the martial saint stage. How could we ever think of swallowing your small sect? Otherwise, today I will definitely make sure that none of you survive." Looking at the determined nun, Duan Qinfeng also began to have doubts. He turned to the disciple behind him and asked, "What's going on? Did someone do something and hide it from me?" The disciples quickly denied it. On the side, Peng Ying also began to suspect whether the master they mentioned might be Yi Feng. She was so scared that her body began to tremble, not daring to speak out about this matter. Seeing the disciples denying one after another, Duan Qinfeng said, "Fellow immortal friends, after many years of getting along, you all know my character and style. I'm not pretending to be ignorant. I truly do not understand what we have done. I hope you can explain it clearly." Upon seeing this, Nun revealed the matter of Peng Ying kidnapping the highly skilled individual. Peng Ying, on the other hand, vehemently denied the veteran's claims about the highly skilled individual. Since they could help you break through to the martial saint stage, they must possess extraordinary magical powers and cultivation level. How could I, Peng Ying, just a martial sovereign, possibly capture him and bring him to my sword bitch sect? Although I did capture someone a couple of days ago, he was just a mortal. She suddenly realized something. Could that worthless person really be the master they were talking about? They must have made a mistake. The person I caught is named Yi Feng. Are you sure it's him? The leader of the sky-blowing gang, Blow 10,000 years, flew into a rage on the spot. I will tell you the truth. The person you caught is indeed the skilled individual we were talking about. We all call him Master Yi. He has gained insights into the lives of the common people in the mortal world and generously bestows blessings upon the world. How dare you commit such a heinous act of rebellion? What punishment do you deserve?" At this moment, a small gang member beside Duan Qinfeng whispered to him that Saintess Peng Ying did bring someone back yesterday and placed him in the depths of the long prisoner's domain. After confirming this matter, Duan Qinfeng slapped Peng Ying on the head, knocking her down to the ground. Disciples around said, "Sword Bitch Sect is our home, but now it has been destroyed by your own hands." At this moment, Peng Ying Saintess's aura is gone, and her face is filled with fear and despair. But she still feels wronged. I always thought he was just useless. It's not entirely my fault, right? Upon hearing this, the sect leader gave her another slap. This strike completely destroyed all of her cultivation level. Then he knelt down in front of the 5 chief leaders and apologized, saying, "Peng Ying, please take her away and let the gentleman handle it. I hope those of you who have dealt with the gentleman can plead for mercy on our sect's behalf and spare us." After saying that, he heavily knocked his head on the ground. One of the 5 chiefs, red hair, mentioned old Duan. "You haven't met him before, so you don't know what kind of person he is. He may have destroyed your sect, but he didn't harm anyone. Don't you understand this? Sir, this is intentionally giving you a way out. So you should leave quickly. The further you go, the better. Don't come back again in the future." Upon hearing this, Duan Chifeng immediately ordered all disciples to evacuate from here. Watching the departing venerable master and sect brother Peng Ying, she once again felt helpless and desperate, not knowing what kind of punishment awaited her. After an unknown amount of time, Yi Feng suddenly appeared in front of everyone, still holding a fish in his hand. How awesome is this man? A bowl of soup he casually makes can help people break through their cultivation level. Even the heavenly tribulation is in awe of him, and will immediately come to a halt. The 5 major sects even mobilized all their forces just to meet him. After seeing Yi Feng, the leaders all paid their respects one after another. However, Yi Feng looked puzzled and asked, "Why are you all here?" None quickly explained, "We are here waiting for you." This confused Yi Feng even more. "How did you know I was here? And what are you waiting for me to do?" None fell into deep thought. After all, Mr. often regarded himself as a mortal, and did not want everyone to reveal his cultivation level. For a moment, everyone really didn't know how to respond. Just as Nun was feeling troubled, the blonde girl walked out. "It's like this, we all really like Mr. S calligraphy and painting. By chance, we found out about your whereabouts and, filled with excitement, we wanted to come and meet you." Gold-haired girl's dad, gold-haired brother, gave a thumbs up. "Truly, my daughter, this response is simply perfect." And Yi Feng obviously believed her words, blushing with pride. "So you are all my fans, huh?" Just as he was happy, a hand suddenly grabbed his clothes. He turned his head, and saw it was Peng Ying. She cried and said, "Yi Feng, I beg you to give me a chance. Let's be together again, okay? It's been so many years, and you still don't have a woman by your side. I'm willing to return to your side and serve you. This really moves me. I didn't expect that these fans would actually help me settle Peng Ying. I also got a taste of what it feels like to be a star in the immortal cultivation world. My own grievances and relationships were all dug up by them." The next second, Yi Feng looked at Peng Ying and his expression changed instantly. "You wanted to kill me before, and now you want to be with me? Are you taking me for a fool?" Immediately, he revealed the steel knife in his hand. Peng Ying was scared out of his wits. "I know I was wrong. I'm willing to do anything for you. Please spare me. Didn't you used to like being with me the most? Don't you want me anymore?" She thought that by saying this, Yi Feng would be moved with sympathy. Yi Feng directly put the knife on her neck. "I used to like you. I even considered you family," she said. "But in the end, not only did you betray me, but you also wanted to harm me. You are no longer the person you used to be, and I am no longer the young man who used to chase after you." After saying this, he swung the knife down, and Peng Ying saw a series of flashbacks in his mind before he died. She remembered various past events of this life. "Since childhood, I have had a dream, which is to become an immortal cultivator. In this world, the status of immortal cultivation practitioners is drastically different from that of mortals. This is the harsh reality that I understood from a young age. I was willing to sacrifice my body in order to join the sect. The man I thought was worth depending on coldly abandoned me. I just want to be an immortal cultivator and take control of my own destiny. I want to be respected by others. I want to live a good life. I don't understand where I went wrong. Why is fate playing tricks on me like this? You, a person without spiritual root, turned out to be a master. I went far away from you despite being close, and all the efforts I made ended up in vain. If there is an afterlife, I definitely won't choose to be a human." Accompanied by the fall of her body, Peng Ying goes offline. She has the heart of a female lead, but she does not have the luck of a female lead. Yi Feng turned around and thanked all the cultivators. "If you encounter anything I can help with in the future, feel free to ask." These words brought tears to Nun's eyes. "Sir, you are too kind. As your fans, this is what we should do." At this point, the grievances between Yi Feng and Peng Ying are completely in the past. The old man he met at the Foundation site thanked Yi Feng by erecting an immortal being statue for him. He said to the sect leader that after the reconstruction of the Sword Bitch sect, All disciples must worship daily, and today shall be known as Yi Feng's day. This is the phone of the immortal cultivation world. It has the function of transmitting sound over long distances. In order to stay in touch with Yi Feng, the 5 masters generously gave him this treasure for free. After saying goodbye, Yi Feng and his companions experienced a journey of more than 10 days. Finally arrived at the destination for the marriage proposal, mansion of Cloud Rising. Only after arriving did I find out that Zhong Qing's childhood sweetheart, Cloud Heaven Dream, is getting married tomorrow. Learning of this result, Zhong Qing shed tears of sadness. But Yi Feng, as Shifu, did not give up. He walked into the room with Zhong Qing. "Hello, Master of Cloud Rising family. I am here today to bring my disciple to propose a marriage." Upon hearing about the proposal, Cloud Rising burst into laughter. "Are you joking, sir? Can't you see that my daughter is getting married tomorrow?" "I understand, but my disciple and your daughter do have feelings for each other. I hope Master of Cloud Rising can consider the wishes of the younger generation." "Good point about considering the wishes of the younger generation. If you want to marry my daughter, you must show me some sincerity as proof." Upon hearing this, Yi Feng presented the gold coins he had prepared in advance. "Here are a total of 500,000 gold coins as a betrothal gift for you." Cloud Rising laughed again. "What do you take my Cloud Rising family for, beggars? Just 500,000 gold coins, and you think you can marry my daughter? Aren't you being ridiculously delusional? And I have already betrothed my daughter to young Master Yi Wuchen of the Yi family. His family is the most prominent family in town. Yi Wuchen's older brother, Yi Heaven Given, is also the squad leader of the Sky-Blowing Gang. You can't afford to provoke such a powerful family. It's better to give up on this." After saying that, he ordered his subordinate to drive Yi Feng out. Later, Cloud Rising came to the door of his daughter's room and informed her about the matter of Zhong Qing coming to propose marriage. Cloud Heaven Dream likes Zhong Qing, but she is no longer a free agent at the moment. She wants to meet but cannot, can only silently feel sad and upset. Yi Feng felt more and more angry when he returned to the inn. He came from afar to propose marriage to his disciple, but unexpectedly he was intercepted on the way. So he made a bold decision to elope and directly propose marriage. Old Wu quickly gathered information about the overall situation of the Yi family. In addition to Yi Heaven Given of the Sky-Blowing Gang, there are also some martial masters and cultivators at the martial spirit level in the family. Since Yi Feng crossed over to the immortal cultivation world, he has been judged as a waste without spiritual root. So he doesn't quite understand the classification of cultivator levels, and mistakenly thinks that martial spirit is a very high rank. It seems that the Yi family's situation is not something that a few of us mortals can handle. He took out the 5 top experts to help him shake people up with his communicator. After receiving Yi Feng's summons, none and others rushed to the scene at the speed of light. Yi Feng was very surprised. "Oh my goodness, how did you all arrive so quickly?" In order to let Master Yi experience mortal life, several people dared not mention that they had flown here on sword. Everyone lied and claimed they were simply passing by on a group tour, and the sword behind them was just a prop. Seeing them say this, old Mr. Wang showed a satisfied expression. Later on, Yi Feng brought up the forced marriage incident. After listening to it, everyone felt as if they had been injected with chicken blood, expressing that they would definitely support Mr. Yi Feng's positive behavior wholeheartedly. Yi Feng said, "Forcing a kiss can be risky. Because the Yi family has a super powerhouse at the martial spirit level, those who don't want to take risks can now back out." Upon hearing this, everyone present was baffled. The martial spirit level is considered the weakest among immortal cultivators. It seems that the old man is acting again. Let's just play along with him. Everyone instantly turned into a frightened expression. Martial spirit masters are indeed very powerful, but as your fans, how can we retreat at this time? Yi Feng was moved to tears by them. Since that's the case, let's plan this marriage proposal carefully. Because the strongest person on the other side is that martial spirit, so we must have a strategy to deal with this martial spirit. The best way is for us to also invite a strong martial spirit expert, so that at least we can match their strength. Who among you can invite such a strong expert? Because everyone is afraid to answer this question as they have to act with Yi Feng. Uncle Baifa directly asked, "Sir, can we actually invite him or not?" Yi Feng was also puzzled by this. "If it's possible, then it's possible. If it's not, then it's not. Just be straightforward with us." When they heard the expert asking for the truth, everyone replied in unison with the word, "Can." Immediately after that, Nun took out a communicator and started to shake people. Soon, a powerful martial spirit expert arrived at the scene. This person's name is Sword No Heart, a marginal figure in the Sky Demon Sect. Nun said, "Later, remember not to reveal my identity as the sect leader." No matter how powerful experts you see in the room, you must treat them as mortals. After giving the order, Nun entered the room and reported to Mr. Martial Spirit, "I have already invited the strong expert." To show respect to the expert, Yi Feng went out with several people to welcome him. Upon meeting, Sword No Heart was scared on the spot. "Oh my goodness, isn't this the legendary master?" And that mysterious person known as Sir Skeleton, if I remember correctly, he was the one who killed the Jiaolong Yogui Emperor a few days ago. Immediately after that, Yi Feng led everyone to bow, which made Sword No Heart even more frightened. He was so scared that he burst into tears on the spot, saying, "Mom, I want to go home." He turned around intending to run, but saw the sect leader standing in front of him. In the end, he could only grit his teeth and continue with the act. The man spent a lot of money to marry a rich young lady. But he never expected that when he lifted the veil, he found the wedding procession of Yi Wuchen in South San City is driving in the middle of the road. The crowds on both sides are discussing animatedly. It is said that the groom has a strange hobby. Several maids in his family have died mysteriously after being involved with him. The groom smirked devilishly and said, "Cloud Heaven Dream, that little girl is finally mine. Tonight, I must have my way with her until dawn breaks." Just as he was feeling pleased with himself, a group of soldiers suddenly appeared in front of him. The newcomers were none other than Yi Feng's marriage proposal squad. Old Wu and the others took the lead. They put on a bizarre pose and blocked the way. Helpless, Yi Wuchen had to take a detour. After changing the route, he was stopped by two people. Upon closer inspection, they turned out to be old Mr. Wang and little Shuai, who was disguised as a man with a bulging belly. Old Mr. Wang immediately burst out cursing. "Yi Wuchen, you heartless person! You got my daughter pregnant and haven't even given her a name. You're forcing her into marriage. You must give us an explanation today." Yi Wuchen looked confused. "You, this old rascal, spew nonsense. I, Yi Wuchen, am an impotent man. How could I possibly get your daughter pregnant?" Upon seeing this, little Shuai burst into tears. "You heartless person, once you're done playing with someone, you just discard them." "All right." Yi Wuchen dismounted and said, "If you two don't resolve this, I won't be able to let it go today." After saying that, he charged straight towards the two of them. As a result, he directly grabbed the bun from little Shuai's hand. Little Shuai said with a hoarse voice, "You're so bad, but I really like it." The servant behind came to report that more and more people were coming to watch the excitement. All the routes that could be taken outside were all blocked. As soon as the words fell, gold coins started falling from the sky. When I looked up, it turned out to be the mischief of Uncle Beard and the golden-haired girl. The surrounding crowd went crazy grabbing the gold coins falling from the sky. Even the bearers carrying the sedan chair joined in. Take advantage of the chaos. Zhong Qing opened the curtain of the sedan chair. "Darling, change into these clothes, and I'll take you away." The next second, the two little ones hurriedly left here. Shortly afterwards, a dwarf was seen getting into the sedan chair. This person was none other than Sir Skeleton. The beautiful bride was switched and became little skeleton like this. Jiangping successfully brought Heaven Dream in front of Shifu over here. Yi Wuchen, on the other hand, brought Sir Skeleton back home in a bewildered state. On the signboard of Yi Mansion, a festive big red flower is hanging. Relatives and friends in the mansion raise their glasses to offer congratulations. Yi Wuchen, who was drunk, staggered into the bridal chamber. Once inside, he puckered up his lips suggestively, saying, "My beautiful bride, soon you will be mine." Sir Skeleton under the veil said, "You scoundrel, hurry up and come over. I've been waiting for you all afternoon." This made Yi Wuchen's heart itch. He slowly raised his hand and opened the veil. The next second, a bloody skeleton appeared. It scared him out of his wits. The servants outside heard the screams from inside the house. When they walked in, they saw the young master sitting on the ground crying. "That damn guy took away my bride and also stole a chest of gold from me. It must be the morning roadblock that caused the trouble. I have already ordered the city to be sealed off. Hurry and chase after them for me." Soon, a servant found a group of people and horses in the distance acting suspiciously. Immediately sent people to go and kill them. One of them struck at Yi Feng. After dodging, Yi Feng exclaimed, "What a powerful blow! This person seems to be the expert with the martial spirit. It's time for you to make a move." Sword Nohard realized these are not martial spirit experts at all. They are just a group of ordinary people. He then unleashed his ultimate move. The Gale Deadly Slash instantly took care of those shrimp soldiers and crab generals. Yi Feng explained that the master was awesome. The leader's acting skills were also sublimated at this moment. If it weren't for the master Sword Nohard here today, us ordinary mortals might have to pack our lunch boxes. Sword Nohard gave an awkward smile. "You guys really know how to act." With his help, Yi Feng and the team that gate-crashed the wedding successfully retreated outside the city. Heaven Dream cried when she saw her father. She didn't know how she could meet her father after leaving home. Yi Feng said, "Master of Cloud Rising, I'm really sorry. We did such a big thing without discussing it with you." "Brother Yi, you are too polite. After I learned about Yi Wuchen's quirks, I planned to rescue my daughter. I didn't expect that you all helped me complete it directly." Heaven Dream worriedly said, "The Yi family will definitely not let this go easily. Why don't you leave with us?" "I, from the Cloud Rising family, have lived in South Sand City for generations. How could I just leave like that, dreamer? Before, I didn't have enough strength to protect you. But now it's different. I'm very reassured to hand you over to this kid Jiangping." Upon hearing this, Jiangping immediately stood up. "Rest assured, I will definitely take good care of Heaven Dream. Uncle, trust me." The scene switched to Yi Wuchen's side. He found his own brother, Yi Heaven Given. He plans to seek revenge on Yi Feng for taking his wife. They later arrived at a canyon. This is a mandatory route for Yi Feng's team. Yi Heaven Given unleashed the spiritual pressure in his body, fully prepared. Soon Yi Feng and others arrived at the canyon. Yi Wuchen laughed heartily. "Now I'll see where you all can run to." After a while passed without taking action, he turned his head to see that his own brother had actually run away. This is all bullshit. Grand Martial Emperor Martial Saint, what's the point of all this? Yi Wuchen stood still, feeling confused. If I go up after my brother has run away, wouldn't it be like sending myself to death? He turned around and left, but was stopped by Sir Skeleton. The skeleton's face has already caused emotional trauma to him. Mr. Skeleton stripped him down to his underwear and hung him from a tree branch on the cliff. Sir Skeleton is driving a carriage on the way home. Two mysterious figures appeared above the clouds, secretly observing their movements. They came to merge with the bloodline of the celestial race of Zhongqing. The so-called fusion is the merging of a man and a woman in dual cultivation. And the person who wants to cultivate with Zhongqing is the girl in front of him now. The old man excitedly said, "This is the first appearance of the celestial race bloodline in 2 million years. As long as you engage in dual cultivation with him, you can activate the divine phoenix bloodline in your body. Only this way can we establish a place in this immortal cultivation world. The woman was about to go downstairs to grab Zhongqing, but was stopped by the old man. Absolutely not. The dual cultivation I mentioned is not just about the physical aspect. You must also grasp him emotionally. Only when both parties have mutual affection can the best results be achieved. The girl blushed and kicked the old man. Then she fell into contemplation. How can I make this guy fall in love with me? Do I also need to please that mortal named Yi Feng like the leaders of South Sand? The scene changed, and the main group arrived at a town. Yi Feng said, I have to say, the area of South Sand is really vast. The local customs are indeed much richer than our River Peace City. So Yi Feng decided on the spot not to go home first, but to explore other places instead. After opening the map, he pointed to a location marked with special symbols, which greatly frightened everyone. Old Mr. One said, Sir, do we really need to go to this place? Yi Feng replied, I see the sign up there, and feel that this place must be very beautiful. Let's go there. This place is known as the Death Zone, a place where even ghosts dare not venture. But because Yi Feng designated it, no one dares to object. In this way, the journey home turned into a sightseeing trip. At the halfway point, Old Wu suddenly spoke up. Sir, a few of us have some family matters to attend to. We won't be able to accompany you for the rest of the way. As for the young couple Zhongqing, they just got together recently and found it hard to get along in such a small carriage. So they decided to head back to the dojo first. Yi Feng and Sir Skeleton suddenly felt like third wheels. After getting Yi Feng's approval, the group quickly left. The tourist group was left with only a person, a dog, and a skeleton. Originally, they thought the three of them would feel lonely. But they didn't expect that they would be overjoyed. Now we can finally have some fun. Yi Feng even joyfully started writing poetry. I walk until the stream ends, where no path leads, then sit and watch the tranquil resting of the rising clouds. The scene shifts to a tavern, where a handsome man catches the eye. Upon closer inspection, the man was actually holding chopsticks with something that looked like a mouse clamped between them. This person is named Wild Nopath, and possesses the Grand Martial Emperor cultivation level. The other guests around are discussing him in a lively manner. This person has quite a background. He is one of the emperors of South Sand. Just by looking at the rough man with double ponytails next to him, you can tell how special he is. The onlooker, a young mother, was also scared, covering her child's mouth, fearing to disturb him. At this moment, Yi Feng suddenly walked over and said to the two, Hey guys, the rest of the tavern is full, but there's still space at your table. Can I join you? The onlookers were quite frightened by his words. This young punk actually dared to speak to the emperor like that. Isn't he afraid of death? I heard that someone offended the emperor last time, and had a leg cut off on the spot. What is surprising is that Wild Nopath actually agreed. Yi Feng sat down smoothly. The surrounding crowd was instantly shocked. The guards on the side also looked incredulous. Immediately after that, Yi Feng began eating heartily in front of the emperor. At this moment, the wine on the table caught his attention. Bro, I see you're not drinking this wine. Can you let me have a taste? The bodyguard instantly got angry. How dare you? Competing over the table is one thing, but you even want to mooch off the wine meant for the royal? He picked up the steel knife in his hand, ready to stab over. He was stopped by Wild Nopath. Young man, this wine is strong. It's not something ordinary people can handle. If you say that, then I guess I'm really not an ordinary person. These words have piqued Wild Nopath's interest. So tell me, how are you unique then? If your answer is not good, I'll charge you with the crime of impudence. Bro, you're quite humorous. Looks like you must have had a few drinks. Upon hearing these words, Wild Nopath revealed a murderous intent. But then Yi Feng followed up with a sentence. If I were an ordinary person, how could I dare to drink with my big brother at the same table? Wild Nopath was startled for a moment. Then he suddenly burst into laughter. What a cheeky kid! This sentence not only resolved my teasing but also indirectly praised me. This drink is a toast to you. In the midst of the spectators' exclamations, the two of them started to drink. The man who crossed over to the immortal cultivation world unexpectedly started reciting poems from Wang Wei, the poem saga. And he even managed to impress a girl by using this poem. In the restaurant, Yi Feng is drinking wine with South Sand Emperor Wild Nopath. The guard on the side looked askance and said, "I've been with His Highness for so many years, and haven't been able to have a drink with him. You, a mortal, not only had a drink, but also addressed him as a brother." At this moment, Yi Feng suddenly turned his head and asked, "Bro, could it be that you are an immortal cultivator?" In order to continue chatting and drinking with Yi Feng, Wild Nopath falsely claimed that he was a person without spiritual roots, so he could not cultivate. "It seems like my brother and I are in the same boat. I am also just a mortal." This statement made the guards' faces turn green. His Majesty is a strong warrior of the Grand Martial Emperor level. Knowing this might scare you to death. Wild Nopath thought to himself, "I haven't felt this free in a long time. This child just speaks and acts as he pleases. It must be very relaxing to be friends with him." "By the way, buddy, do you have any business to attend to on this trip?" "I don't have anything to do. This is my first time coming to South Sand, so I want to walk around and see the scenery." "That's great. We're the same then. I'm here to play as well. How about we travel together? We can take care of each other along the way." Yi Feng directly grabbed his hand. "Bro, you are really kind. I finally don't have to wander around like a headless fly anymore." After having his fill of food and drink, Yi Feng walked out of the restaurant. He fed the leftover bones to the dog. "Your Majesty, even if you find this mortal interesting, there is no need to hide your noble identity." Wild Nopath showed a fierce look. "I am attracted to that natural feeling of his true character. If you dare to expose my identity, I will hold you accountable." Just at this moment, Sir Skeleton walked over. Wild Nopath glanced at him and couldn't figure out Yi Feng. He introduced him as his own bodyguard. A mere mortal can actually serve as a bodyguard. Not to mention that he is short in stature, and he wears a windbreaker half covering his face. What is he pretending to be? Shortly after, the group arrived at a lake. Gazing at the beautiful scenery before them, Yi Feng recited a poem. From afar, the mountains glow with hue. Nearby, no sound of waters blue. Though spring departs, the flowers stay. Birds heed no man, unmoved they play. I didn't expect that you, little brother, can actually compose poems. Big brother, you flatter me. This is no ordinary poem. It is a poem by Wang Wei, the poet sage. The two of them continued to chat while sitting in the small boat. While on the other side, the guard was sitting on a boat with Sir Skeleton. The pretentious attitude of Sir Skeleton really annoyed him. This made him have a mischievous idea to play a trick on Sir Skeleton. He stuck his hand into his crotch. He took out a testicle. "Little dwarf, do you know what this is?" "At first sight, you, a mortal, won't know. Let me tell you. This is called a Dan pill, and it is a king-grade Dan pill. Such a small one is priceless to you mortals. This kind of thing is just trash to Sir Skeleton, who simply ignored its existence and yawned directly. Seeing this, the bodyguard reached into his armpit and took out a small golden ball. "Take a look at this. This is an Emperor-grade Dan pill. If you jump into the water, I will give it to you." Sir Skeleton was angered by his words. "You're holding a dog biscuit there and yapping incessantly, yet you're telling me to jump into the water. Are you out of your mind?" The guard was thoroughly exasperated by him. He gathered his strength in the palm of his hand and slapped towards Sir Skeleton, but Sir Skeleton didn't make any move. With just a glance, he sent the guard flying into the water. After getting back to the shore, Yi Feng gave Sir Skeleton a good lesson. Wild Nopath once again doubted Sir Skeleton. The fact that his guards were at least at martial lord level, yet this little skeleton could just glance at him and send him flying into the lake, made him suspicious. Is he hiding his strength, or am I overthinking it? Of course, it could also be that the guard was careless for a moment. The scene changed, and it was suddenly nighttime. Yi Feng sat uneasily on the boat. The person on his left poured him a drink. I raise my cup to summon the bright moon. With shadow and self, we become three. Thank you, brother, for your gracious hospitality. Little brother had a great time today. Sir Skeleton on the side is already drooling with envy. He says he also wants a beautiful lady. At this moment, another boat outside the window caught his attention. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be Li Xin, the blind monk, who was embracing from left to right. From time to time, he would even kiss the beauty on the face. Sir Skeleton hugged the dog and cried, "Even a stinky monk can have a beauty by his side. Why can't I have one?" The man casually carved a figurine of a little gourd baby. I didn't expect it to turn into a celestial rank magical tool. Yi Feng was staring blankly at Li Xin, the blind monk opposite him. I didn't expect a monk to play so energetically. At this moment, Wild Nopath suddenly took out a treasure and gave it to Yi Feng. The guards on the side were surprised. This is a treasure of sovereign grade level. He will automatically protect the owner when in danger, yet His Majesty just gave it to a mortal like that. Wild Nopath held Yi Feng's hand and said, "You must carry this jade pendant with you at all times. It may come in handy for you someday in the future." Yi Feng thought to himself, "This brother is truly a loyal and sentimental person." As a return gift, Yi Feng took out a puppet. "This is a gourd doll that I carved myself," Yi Feng said. Wild Nopath looked puzzled when seeing this toy. But thinking that it was a gift from my younger brother, I still accepted it in the end. Following that, he then said to Yi Feng, "We have explored this area thoroughly. Where did you plan to go before? I can take you there." "I do have a place in mind that I want to visit, but wouldn't it be inconvenient for you?" "No trouble at all. As long as my bro is happy, I'll take you there." Upon hearing this, Yi Feng took out a map and pointed to the place marked with a special symbol in the middle. "Elder brother, I want to go here." This immediately scared Wild Nopath to the point of throwing up. The guards also looked terrified. Is this kid a little fool? That place is the death zone of the South Sand region. The entire Celestial River continent has only one place like this. And there are also all evil cultivators from the entire continent gathered there, as well as criminals wanted by various major sects. Upon seeing Wild Nopath, Yi Feng hesitated and asked, "Brother, are you not able to take me there?" "It's not a matter of inconvenience. I'd like to hear your reasons for wanting to go there first. This place is marked on the entire map as a tourist attraction. It's not easy to come here. How can we miss taking a photo at South Sand? The fierce and treacherous landscapes might shock you on the spot. How can you call such a dangerous place a tourist attraction?" Even more unexpectedly, Wild Nopath actually agreed. "Since it's a place your buddy specifically requested to visit, I will take you there. Although it's very dangerous there, there's no need to be afraid because I am from there." The scene changed and several people had already arrived at the death zone. The scene in front of Yi Feng stunned him. This is really a masterpiece of nature. The air is filled with a light mist, giving people a refreshing feeling. It feels like standing on a cloud. South Sand is indeed unparalleled in terms of its beautiful scenery, but hidden within its beauty lies unseen threats. Everyone who enters here will be monitored from the very beginning. These evil cultivators and freelance cultivators absorb the essence of cultivators to enhance their own spiritual power. To delve deeper into this place, one must first pass this test. Soon, several people were targeted by two evil cultivators. Wild Nopath instructed the guards to take care of it, but be sure not to cause any commotion to avoid startling my brother. At this moment, Yi Feng is touching the head of the man-eating flower with his hand. Sir Skeleton and the dog behind release some spiritual pressure, so the man-eating flower dare not act rashly. Wild Nopath looks around and thinks to himself, "It's been half an hour. Why haven't the guards come back yet?" With his strength, he should be able to deal with these people quickly. This gives him a sense of foreboding. He turned to Yi Feng and said, "My guard hasn't returned for a long time, which makes me worried. I will go around and look for him. Stay put and wait for me to come back. Don't wander around." Yi Feng nodded in agreement. Wild No Path was blocked by heavy fog when he reached an open space, obscuring his vision. When he tried to use spiritual awareness to check, he found that it was unexpectedly ineffective. It was only after he reacted that he realized this was not fog at all, but a very evil formation. It seems that the enemy was prepared, and this formation was specifically set up for him. At this moment, 3 monsters suddenly sprang out of the formation. "Wild No Path, you killed our eldest brother back then. Today, I must carry your dog head to pay respects at his grave." Wild No Path, Wei Wei smiled faintly. "Your evil mountain 5 element has committed numerous evil acts. That day, the metal element indiscriminately killed innocents, attempting to use thousands of lives to refine evil arts. Though I am not a saint, killing him could be considered upholding justice for heaven. Moreover, your strongest water element is not present. Thinking of killing me is simply wishful thinking." After finishing speaking, he jumped into the air and shot out a wave of energy that smashed down, but was easily blocked by the other party, accompanied by a wicked smile from the 3 individuals. Wild No Path suddenly felt a bit difficult to breathe. He then realized that formation was absorbing his spiritual power. Wood element used with style. Advent of a world of trees. Multiple tree roots instantly sprang up from the ground, trapping Wild No Path. Because more than half of his strength had been sucked away, he was unable to break free. However, this is not the end. Earth element has used earth release, added weight on him, instantly increasing gravity 100-fold within the circular area. This has rendered Wild No Path completely unable to move. Shortly after, fire element cast fire style, Inferno, which is the most powerful attack he can unleash. A massive fireball is hurtling towards Wild No Path. Just when he thought he was about to perish here, the gourd doll puppet given to him by Yi Feng suddenly came to life. Accompanied by a golden light, a giant gourd man suddenly appeared. 1 second it was a gourd baby puppet, the next second it turned into a towering giant. The fireball coming towards him was rebounded back as if it were a basketball in his hand. The fire element was burned to ashes by the fireball he released. Next, the Calabash brothers lifted up a small mountain. It smashed down heavily towards the remaining 2 individuals. The evil mountain 5 element, which was originally intact, has now lost 3 more members. After completing all this, the Calabash brothers returned to being puppets. However, it can be seen that there is an additional crack on one of them. It seems that the Calabash brothers cannot be used indefinitely. Each use results in an additional crack until they shatter. Because things happen so suddenly, Wild No Path was caught off guard and hasn't recovered yet. I didn't expect an inconspicuous little puppet to save my life. Could it be that the friend I met is a hidden master with powerful skills? But it's simply impossible. We have been together day and night for so many days. Even the Grand Martial Emperor, who has transcended 10 levels of heavenly tribulation, should be able to sense the power. The only person who can reach a level beyond my perception is an immortal being. But this kind of guessing is even more bullshit.